guys, in today's video we'll be covering how to install ESXi, so VMware, onto a Raspberry Pi 4. To get started, we're going to need a Raspberry Pi 4, 8GB or 4GB, a memory card, a USB stick and a keyboard and mouse. So first we're going to go to flings.vmware.com. We're going to download the ISO and then we're going to get some firmware from the next two GitHub links. All will be linked in the description. Now that we have everything downloaded, we're going to go ahead and format our memory card. I'm on a Windows machine, so this is what I'm showing. And one thing to make sure of is to make sure that we are formatting to FAT32. Once you have the memory card formatted, we will go ahead and extract the firmware master.zip file. Once we have it extracted, we'll open it and then go into the boot folder. Here we're going to locate the kernel image files. There should be 4 of them at the time of this recording. It may change later on. And what we're going to do is we are going to delete these. Once they're deleted, we're going to copy the entire boot folder onto the formatted memory card. One thing I forgot to mention was you will need to update the EEPROM or firmware for the Pi. I've got another video showing how to do this. It's linked in the description. Then we can go back and extract the RPI4_UFI_firmware zip file. We're going to take all the contents, copy them and paste them onto the boot folder on the memory card. You might get a pop-up asking you to overwrite some files. Just go ahead and do this. Right guys, now we're going to build an image using the ISO we downloaded earlier from the flings.vmware site. I'm using Etcher to do this, but feel free to use whichever application you like. With Etcher, we will simply click on Flash from File, locate your ISO, and when you do this, you may get an error saying missing partition table. This is okay, it's known. Click on Select Target Next. Here you're going to be choosing your USB. It is really important that you do choose your USB here, as anything else that you select will get overwritten and there is potential for you to lose your files. Finally, we're going to click on Flash. This is a fairly quick process, so it should only take a few minutes, so just be patient and wait for it to complete. You'll now need to plug in your memory card, USB, keyboard and mouse into your Pi and also attach a monitor. Once it's done, power up the Pi and start pressing the escape key repeatedly. This will bring you to the setup screen. Here we'll need to configure a few settings. Not all of them will apply, but I'll cover them just in case. First, we will disable the 3GB memory limit. Using the arrow keys on your keyboard, select the device manager, press enter, scroll down to Raspberry Pi configuration, press enter, and then scroll down to advanced configuration and press enter again. Limit RAM to 3GB should already be selected. Simply click enter, click on disable and then F10 and then Y to save the setting. For those with a little bit more experience, we also have the option to change our console from serial to graphical or graphical to serial. To do this, we're going to click on device manager, go to console preference selection and then choose whichever one that we want out of the two. We can also adjust the display settings here. Go into device manager, display configuration, and here you can choose which resolution you want for your output. One last thing you may want to do is plug in an Ethernet cable so that you can get some network. Once you are done with all the settings, reboot the Pi. As the Pi is booting back up, press the escape key repeatedly again. This will bring up the settings menu, and from this menu we're going to select boot manager. Once in boot manager, select the USB that we turned into an image earlier and the installer will boot. If you want to create a VMFS-L partition, which is a storage partition, as the installer boots, press Shift and O and then type in autoPartitionOSDataSize equals 8192 and then press enter. I will drop that in the description below. At the welcome screen, press enter, then F11 to accept the end user license agreement. The installer will then scan for storage devices, select where you want the ESXi to be installed, and then choose a password. The installer will push the installation. Once complete, press enter to reboot. And when the device comes back up, you should see the home screen for ESXi, along with the IP address if you plug the network cable in. Note, in order to access the OS, you will need a network connection, so you probably should plug that in now if you haven't already done so. You can now take the IP address, plug it into your web browser, type in root for the username and the password you selected during the setup stage, and boom, we're done. You should now be logged into your instance of ESXi. If you have any issues, please leave a comment and I can try to help. If you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.